Okay, welcome to the cert-manager community meeting. It's 20th of April, 2022. So on the agenda today, we have test failures from Irve, and then we're going to talk about KubeCon EU 2022. If anyone else has anything they want to ask, shout now or at the end. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got it today.
Yeah, we have one thing to talk about. Me and Brady. We're going to talk about Renovate and Dependabot on our repo.
Okay, so let's start with Irva talking about test failures.
Cool. I didn't really expect that to be as a first item because it's quite small. I'm kind of like looking at the test grid state. I'm a little bit concerned whether we should not do more to ensure that we don't release a cert-manager that's potentially broken for either some version of Kubernetes that we support or perhaps for something that we don't test as part of the pre-submit tests. So I'm wondering if we should whether it seems to me that it's kind of possible that we would not actually notice some periodic failures before a release, because at the moment I guess there's quite a lot of failures and we don't necessarily react on them. So I'm just wondering whether we should have some sort of like process in place to, I don't know, make sure that before we release there aren't like persistent failures. That's pretty much that.
Should we add this to the release guide?
Maybe, but it's we could add it to release guide. I feel like the release guide is quite long already, and I'm not sure if it does already involve like quite a lot of manual steps that I think we already don't necessarily all follow. Like I certainly don't follow all of them. But yes, I guess adding it to release notes would be one thing to do.
We'll change our process, make it like a release blocker to have anything on test grid that is not green.
Yeah, I think like something like that somehow I feel like they're kind of starting to take it less and less seriously because there are more and more flakes and we kind of start to get used to it and assume them to be normal. So perhaps
fix the flakes.
Fix the flakes also, obviously is part of it. But perhaps having something like, I don't know, having had the test grid green for master or for release next, at least maybe like for a week or a couple of days before we actually release. Because like for 1.8, we didn't even test against release next because creating release next test was another manual step that we just forgot to do because we disabled the release next test. So I'm like a little bit concerned that all these actions are making it more likely for us to release something was a failure.
Yeah, I guess if the flakes were rare enough, we wouldn't have a problem. But right now they're not rare. It's like so common that we're plagued with flakes.
So I guess perhaps a blocker then would be good action.
Okay, maybe we can't really discuss anything else about it now, but we'll think about it. Should we, because we're talking about repositories, should we move to the AWS team next?
Sure. Brady, do you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll take it. So we installed Renovate or Dependabot on our repo, I don't know, a month or so ago, maybe a month and a half. We were just noticing that the number of PRs we were getting was a little bit crazy. And we were hoping to be able to combine those PRs somehow. And there is a GitHub action that does it. But since we use Go, the Go sum gets pretty mangled between the PRs, and the merge doesn't work with that workflow. So we found this tool, Renovate, which seems pretty nice. It's basically Dependabot, but it combines PRs and has like a nice sort of summary of what it's doing in the PR message and all that. So, you don't really lose any of the dependencies that it's updating. And it has this option to sort of group together all non-major dependencies, which is super nice. What it does is instead of just cutting PRs, it will pull down your repo, update all of your stuff, and then it will run go mod tidy at the end. So we'll have one clean PR. So we're gonna install it, but the only issue is it requires approval from the organization. And we need that from you guys, obviously. So I have the page. Let me share my screen, actually. Hang on one second. Can y'all see my screen? I don't know if I'm actually sharing or not. Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. So we have, this isn't it. There's a permissions page here, and we can select repositories and only apply it to ours. And it has read access to Dependabot and commit statuses and stuff like that, obviously. And we were just hoping that you guys would be willing to accept our request to use this.
So we've been doing it for some time. Why didn't you do it?
Yes, I don't see any issue, but does anyone else see any issue?
Awesome.
What permissions does it need?
Read access to Ooh, I'm echoing now. Read access to Dependabot alerts. I can put this in the chat or the Slack if that's easier, but these are the ones that it requests.
No worries. Yeah, GitHub, those permission lists from GitHub are never obvious. Unpick what that actually means. But I think to be it's generally fine, I think.
I guess post it in the dev Slack just in case any other
Yeah, I can
admin
post-
has an issue.
Yeah, I can post just this page and the link to the app too if you guys want to take a look before. But
other question that I had for you guys is have any of you used Dependabot or Renovate, and do you have any experience to share on either of those tools? As in run it are we making the right decision to go to Renovate, and do you have any experience on that?
So we have Dependabot turned on, but we don't have it making PRs. We just have the alerts. So I guess we're doing what Renovate does, but by hand. So maybe we should use it as well. We never really thought about it.
Makes sense. Gotcha. It's because we were thinking about using Dependabot for security updates, because Dependabot has a nice feature where it, if there's a security update, it will let you know right away. And we were thinking about treating that more seriously, and then the Renovate ones would just go every week, I think, or something like that, every week, every month, and they would get merged into one PR. So I guess kind of like a hybrid model, unless Renovate supports that same security update kind of thing, which maybe Brady you would know, but I'm not sure if it does.
I don't personally know.
Yeah.
Since Dependabot is such you literally turn on a switch for security, they probably didn't bother with it, but that would just be my guess. I haven't digged into it that much, or dug, I guess.
Makes sense. All right, so we should basically just put the request in the chat. Is what you're saying? All right, we'll do.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, That's all we got.
Awesome.
Thanks.
So next is Mel talking about KubeCon EU 2022.
Yes. So we are having a booth, a cert-manager booth, at KubeCon. So KubeCon is happening the 18th, at least the booth will be available on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of May, 2022. And that's as much as, we're preparing some fun things that involves issuing certificates and printing certificates and t-shirts. Yeah. I don't know if I shared enough. That's what I wanted to share.
Cool. Will we see anyone in this call there? I don't know if AWS will send people all the way over to Valencia.
Yeah.
Wait, I'd like to know more information about it. I don't know if we wouldn't.
And so basically we have as a CNCF project, there is a kind of CNCF project area. And so we'll be there with a lot of other cloud native, like CNCF incubation and graduating projects.
Gotcha. Is there like a link I could read more? Oh, is that the link? Is that the link?
That's the main conference page.
Cool. So cert-manager's gonna have like a booth there.
Yeah, and we're gonna. What we want to get out of it is like community engagement. We want anyone that is interested in anyone interested in contributing or just users to come and chat to us, and we'll give you a t-shirt or something in exchange for like usage survey or something, or just.
Right. Do we expect a lot of customers for cert-manager to be there? I assume yes.
Yes, we hope so.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, we haven't kind of like come up, because sometimes we have questions that are like, what are, how are our users or our customers doing certain things that we've been trying to get more information from. So I'll at least convey this to like my manager and see if there's any interest.
Yeah, because we have the same issues, right? Because we don't have telemetry or anything. We want to know who's using it.
Yeah.
And obviously, JetStack, our employers, are sending a commercial team to try and do sales leads. So they've asked us to pass things on to them.
Makes sense. Cool. Do you happen to have any like? It's okay if you don't, but the first question I'm going to get asked is like, do we know how many customers cert-manager will show up? Do you have any idea? No. Okay.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Don't we think that everybody who uses Kubernetes also uses cert-manager? So
For sure. Makes sense.
maybe not.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for letting us know.
Cool.
I saw a poll on Twitter that was like 70% of people install cert-manager by default or something. But
Wow.
Twitter is a biased kind of pool to poll from, so who knows?
Does any
70% of attendees sounds still good.
It's
I
like
think.
70 or 40%. It was
Trust your
a
data.
crazy number.
Yeah, we just want to chat to people, and hopefully people want to chat to us. So,
Maybe I can mention the user survey that is currently being run. It's focused on cert-manager. So if you're a cert-manager user, you may, if you can, take 5 minutes to do the survey. So I will share the link right now if I find it.
How are you distributing that link? Do you have like an email list?
So Richard Collins, who is from JetStack, posted it in the cert-manager Slack channel yesterday. But we're going to try and ask people to fill it in when we see them at the conference as well.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Does anyone else want to bring up anything, or we can give everyone the rest of their hour back? Cool. Nothing then. So remember to like and subscribe on the YouTube video and join cert-manager channel on the Kubernetes Slack if you have any questions.
Yeah, I see.